Well, we've got a special guest joining us this morning on National Voter Registration Day here on 2 Works for You. Tulsa County Commissioner Karen Keith live on 2 Works for You today. Commissioner Keith, good morning.
Good morning.
It's an early morning for you, so I appreciate you. I appreciate that early alarm clock.
Well, I appreciate that you get up every morning and do what you guys do.
Oh, absolutely. So before we get into election news, National Voter Registration Day, on a personal note, we know earlier this year you beat COVID-19. How are you feeling?
Oh, we're just great, doing really well. And just grateful that we're both okay and we didn't have any underlying health issues that made it worse, because that's not the case for others who go through this. We've come out of it on the other side doing very well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so thankful for you and your husband for that. Speaking of the pandemic, we're hearing about, all these issues with the election, and a lot of folks are worried about their ballots. What am I supposed to do? Do I show up? Do I mail it in? I don't know what to do. But before I get into that, with the pandemic, we're hearing about a shortage of poll workers around the country. Is Tulsa County experiencing a shortage of poll workers? And if so, how can folks sign up to do that, if that's even still an option?
Well, I have to say I'm really proud of Tulsans. We've been asking for their help, and Gwen had some 900 people step up. So they've been processing and training and getting the poll workers ready. So I just want to say thank you to the folks in Tulsa County who stepped up and said, I will help. I want this election to go well. And kudos to our crew at the election board, led by Election Board Secretary Gwen Freeman. I cannot tell you how hard they are working. It's 7 days a week right now, and they work a lot of 12-hour days. There's just so much going on that they're trying to get ready for this election.
Yeah, I always, every time, election season rolls around, I see Gwen Freeman on TV day after day. I'm like, that is the hardest working woman during election time in Green Country, for sure. So another question for you, we've been talking about this surge of absentee ballots that people are requesting. I believe a little over 100,000 was the number that we got from Gwen Freeman at the Tulsa County Election Board. So, I mean, when it comes to absentee voting,
your audio is kind of coming in and out, but yes, they've had a huge number of absentee. So they've had a huge number come in, and that's taking a lot of time, I'm quite certain they will have everything in order and ready. But that's one of the things that's taking a lot of their time right now, is responding to all those absentee ballot requests. So, by the way, October 9th is the last day that you can vote. So that's important too.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we're hearing from Gwen over the election board, 80 to 90% voter turnout. I mean, that sounds kind of wild, because you look at historically at 30-40% voter turnout if we're lucky. Does 80 to 90% sound like what we can expect by the time November rolls around for voter turnout?
Well, I think it would be absolutely remarkable if that were the case, because, as you know, we never see numbers anywhere close to that. So, in order to accommodate all those voters and do social distancing, we're going to do early voting a lot different this year. And I'm really excited. The managers at One Oak Field, the home of the drillers, they stepped up. And Gwen was thinking about this, I must tell you already. She's so with it and smart. They called her. They were proactive. They called her and said, hey, would you like to do this? And she was like, well, yes, absolutely, I would. So we are going to do early voting the 29th and the 30th. And that'll go 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's at One Oak Field. That's downtown. It's not very far from the election board. So the election board will not be open. So that Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., the 29th and 30th. And then Saturday, Halloween, is going to be October 31st, and that'll be 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the city, everybody is working together in partnership to make sure that these elections go off really well. So the city's cooperating, so you won't get a ticket if you're parked in that vicinity. But even better than that is that Vast Bank has stepped up. I am so grateful to them. They have a brand new parking garage. It's got well over 300 parking spaces in it.
Yeah.
So if you pull in there, you can park. And the great thing about that is you won't be in a hurry to get your car moved so quickly, and you can go wander around the Arts District. Check out the new parklets where you can go to, have lunch or dinner.
Yeah.
And then, Magic City Books, all
Right.
those things. There's some great shops right there. You can go do it all while you go vote.
Absolutely. And that is the point. That's the message that we're trying to get across, is just to get out and go vote, whatever it takes. So once again, always a pleasure talking to you, County Commissioner of Tulsa County, Karen Key.
Thank you
Thanks
so
so much.
much.
Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
Bye-bye.